Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad AMIRUL bin Muhammad Ali. So today I would like to present our group project, which is the survey on web browsing habit between male and female students. So before we start, I would like to introduce my group members. We have brother Muhammad Afiq bin Abdul PATAH. We have brother AIMAN bin HISYAM. We also have Abdul HAKIM bin NASIRIN and also brother CHANGHANG. So first, let us start with the introduction. So our project is actually to study the relationship between gender and web browsing habit. We know nowadays technologies are becoming more advanced and readily available to us. One great example that we can have is the internet. And we also know that humans are categorized into two, which is male and female. So that's why we conducted a study to see if gender differences can be a factor that can influence one's web browsing behavior. Because we know male and female are completely different from each other. So we want to see if there are any relationship between the gender difference and one's web browsing behavior. So our problem statement is, do males and females have different web browsing behavior? Because some people said that there are no difference, but some people said yes. However, according to past research, there actually exists some difference in web browsing behavior between gender. So that's why we come up with a hypothesis. We are expecting that the web browsing habit, which is the time spent on browsing the web, will differ according to different genders and the type of website browsed. So our method. The data is randomly collected from students of IUM, and the data is also collected by using online survey in Google Form. And after collecting the data, we managed to obtain 117 respondents altogether. But however, in our study, for our analysis, we only use 100, which consists of 50 males and 50 females. And for our preliminary analysis, we use mean, median, and mode. And for our full-scale analysis, we use variance, standard deviation, and Chebyshev theorem. So later we will see the relationship between gender and the type of device used, and the relationship between gender and the type of website browsed.
Social media website. Look at this graph. We can know that people like to spend time on social media website and spend a lot of time, especially female. There are more males than females in the 0 to 2 hours interval, but more females than males in the 3 to 5 hours, 6 to 8 hours, and 9 to 11 hours interval. From this, we can draw a conclusion that females prefer spend time on social media website. Okay, we are moving next. The data has been concluded. For male, the mean is 4.12. Median is 2.631. Variance is 9.536. Standard deviation is 3.1. For female, mean is 5.08. Median is 2.381. Variance is 7.993. Standard deviation is 2.8. Basically, this data we can see females prefer spend time on social media website. This proves the previous conclusion. Okay, we are moving next.
So this is the data collected on the time spent on browsing videos sharing platform. So we have divided the data into male and female. For male, the median is 2.5 hours, mean equals to 4.54 hours, variance is about 12.74 hours, standard deviation is about 3.57 hours. And now to female, median is about 2.17 hours, mean is equal to 4 hours, variance is about 11.02 hours, and finally standard deviation is about 3.32 hours. So based on the calculation, we can conclude that male spends more time on video sharing platforms compared to female.
Students usually will take time to browse the forum website is around 0 to 2 hours, because we can see 41 students for female students that use 2 hours or and less to browse the forum website, while we can see the male students, 35 students that will use the forum website in a day. Okay, the median for male student is 1.42 hour, mean 2.4 hours, variance 4 hours, while the standard deviation is 2 hours. For the female students, you can see the median is 1.2 hour, mean 1.66 hour, variance 2.6 hours, and the standard deviation is 1.6 hour. You can see the difference between two genders. We can see the variance, the standard deviation, the mean, and the median, we can see the male student higher than the female student.
On browsing this website, male and female. So male have a peak at 0 until 2 hours, which is slightly less than 50, and on the other hand, female are slightly over 40. So this is male calculation and female calculation. So we go to the male calculation. Male calculation mean we got 1.3 hours, medians 1.08 hours, variance 1.193 hours, a standard deviation 1.1 hours. However, female got mean 1.7 hours, medians 1.219 hours, variance 4.338 hours, and the last one is standard deviation 2.1 hours. So with this calculation in this slide, we can see that female, a lot of female respondents that watch news website, browsing news website than a male.
So this is the time spent on browsing gaming website. So we have collected data for both male and female, and for male, the median is about 1.351 hours, mean is equal to 2.8 hours, variance is equal to 11.388 hours, and standard deviation is about 3.375 hours. And for female, median is about 1.111 hours, mean is equal to 1.48 hours, variance is about 3.438 hours, and standard deviation is about 1.854 hours. From these calculations, we can conclude that male spends more time on gaming websites compared to female.
Time constraint, which is we have a few weeks to do the analysis, question, and so on, proposal, and so on. So we think that time constraint is the first thing first is time constraint is the first of our limitation, our weakness, which is we does not get enough time to do the question and survey. And then the second one is small amount of responding, because of time constraint, because of a lack of time. So we got 50 respondents, 100 respondents. So sorry, we got only 100 respondents, 50 for male and 50 for female. So 100 respondents is a small amount, but it can be a survey, but it's not a good one. So it's a very, very small amount of respondents. And then the last one is lack of experience and skills. So lack of experience and skills is one of the important point of our weakness, which is my team is lack of experience and skills. This is our first time doing this subject, doing survey and so on.
In conclusion, the time spent and type of website browsing is different according to the student gender. So that is the hypothesis that we propose in this project. So the hypothesis is true because each gender have their own preferences in browsing to certain website. There is no fixed time or type of website that students like to visit. So based on this explanation, we can see that students, either male or female students, have their own interests, have their own initiative to browse any type of website. So there is no fixed website that they usually or they like to visit, and it same goes to the time, because each student have their own time, have their own schedule to use the website. So there is no fixed in time or type of website that student like to visit. Okay, but there are few reasons why the students do not have the specific amount of time to spend and type of the website. The reason is knowledge, because there are certain students that use the website to find knowledge, either it's a forum or gaming knowledge, or it's a current issue. There is many type of knowledge that students can find from the website. The second reason is hobby. Okay, maybe they are unique student that like to browse the website. Maybe they like to go to the gaming website, forum website, or maybe news website to know the current news that happen in this world, maybe national or local news, so they like to browse the website as their hobby. Maybe they do during weekend or they do daily. And the last reason is fun. This is a, a few of students that only have this kind of reason because maybe at the time they do not have any activities or any assignment, any quiz, so they will take the time to browse the internet or browse the website, maybe to find the general information or so on and so forth. So that's why there is certain students that have this kind of reasons which is fun. Maybe they do not have any plan, so they use the time to browse to certain website.
Through our survey, I'd like to give a recommendation. The first and foremost, a larger sample size. The second is make specific universities. Third, don't fix the dependent sample. Last, it also includes more factors like personal preferences, work or study factors, and emotional problems. Like these factors will affect our survey as well. Thank you.